This is the Iowa Weather Report for Wednesday, July the 22nd, 2015. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Have a bit of a trough over the New England states, another one over the north and west. Pretty quiet in between the systems, and that's how it's going to be today. Partly to mostly sunny skies. There will be a few more clouds than on Tuesday, but readings will still be about the same, maybe a degree warmer. Highs still in the upper 70s to the lower and middle 80s. Humidity levels will still remain fairly tolerable across the state at this point. There'll be some rain to our south and off to our west, and that may graze the state very late tonight, mainly across the far southern tier counties, but most likely into Missouri. So Wednesday or Thursday in this case will still remain fairly dry for the most part, with highs creeping up into the 80s, and on Friday still the same story, maybe a bit warmer, highs into the lower middle, maybe some upper 80s to near 90. Heat indices will be climbing as well. Still can't rule out an isolated shower or storm Friday, but it looks fairly remote. But Saturday it looks a little bit better, especially Friday night and then into Saturday as a frontal system comes in from the north and west. This could bring us some showers and thunderstorms by about the afternoon and into the evening hours, and then this will clear out by Sunday morning. Can't rule out a lingering shower or storm in our far eastern and southeastern counties, and maybe we could see some redevelopment down in those areas late Sunday afternoon, but that looks to remain to our east and to our south. And then as we go into the new work week on Monday, system will be off to our east, another one developing off to our west. Will be in between the systems. It'll be mainly sunny with a few clouds around, with highs in around 80 to 85 degrees or so with some lower humidity. Going into Tuesday, that system approaches from the west. That could bring us some afternoon showers and thunderstorms in our western and central counties, while the eastern counties remain mainly dry through at least the early evening hours, with readings still in the 80s or so. Then as we move into next Wednesday, you can see that system begins to track across the area. You can see pretty much a zonal flow across the northern tier of the country, with the main storm track across the U.S.-Canadian border. Fairly benign across the south, but we can't rule out isolated showers and storms, especially in the southeast with the afternoon heating. And we have a couple of showers and storms possible and moving away from the state as we move into Wednesday afternoon, next Wednesday, and maybe next Wednesday evening as well. Going into the extended period on August the 2nd, you can see the Bermuda high out into the western Atlantic, but it kind of extends a ridge back into the south and west, but the storm track is coming across the northern tier of the country, and that puts us in a slight northwesterly flow, and that's going to bring us, if this is to be correct, several systems out of the west and northwest, so we could see several rounds of showers and thunderstorms as we move through the end of July and into at least the first several days of August, and that's the same case here on August the 6th. Ridge over the south and west once again, which has been typical of the last about 3 to 4 months, and a trough over the Great Lakes into the north and east, and with the northwesterly flow and a system coming through, you can expect some showers and thunderstorms, at least in the area or moving away from the area, with temperatures likely at to below seasonal levels for the first week or so of August, maybe some 70s and lower 80s, and that'll feel fairly pleasant for that time of the year. Satellite image from last evening, some complexes of showers and thunderstorms, one off the Carolina Outer Banks, a couple in the mid-south back into Oklahoma and Texas, monsoonal flow continuing over the south and west, a little bit of activity across the north and west, and some high clouds in the northern and central plain states. And looking at the watch warning map from last evening, you see pretty quiet across the country. Some heat advisories in the south, a couple of flash flood issues across the west, but fairly quiet elsewhere across the country, at least at this point. The QBF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, showing rainfall amounts between about a half to 1 inch, with some isolated heavier totals. The heaviest across Florida and southern Georgia, where they could get over 1 to 2 inches.